Yesterday, September 16th, Oculus announced the Oculus Quest 2. And you might be surprised that I actually pre-ordered it for $299. You might be surprised because if you've watched any of my other videos, you can see here I've done some Quest videos. So I played Robo Recall Unplugged, I played Face Your Fears, I played Pavlov, and I did a review video here where I did Valve Index versus Oculus Rift S versus Oculus Quest. And I talked about how uncomfortable I thought Oculus Quest was. It felt like a brick on my forehead. So what I ended up doing was I ended up selling the Quest and keeping the Rift S. So now I have the Valve Index and the Rift S. But somehow Oculus has convinced me to buy this thing, the Quest 2. So first of all, why I sold the Quest? First of all, as I said, the comfort. It was so much weight on the front, on my forehead. It's a very front heavy device. And when I sold it, I don't think there were no like good solutions for it. People were just like doing mods where they added a Vive deluxe audio strap to the back of it. And even then people were saying it wasn't good enough. People were adding counterweights to the back, all sorts of shit. And I was just like, I don't want to fuck with all that. Another thing was it had this fixed foveated rendering issue where I was noticing in a lot of games around the edges of the game and the edges of the lenses, I could see all of this pixelated mess. And it was really distracting when I was playing games. I saw it in that Star Wars Vader Immortal game. I saw it in Face Your Fears. I saw it in a bunch of other games too. Another issue. There were very few exclusives. The only one I remember, like there was some shitty game called Sports Scramble that I never bought because it wasn't good enough. But there was Vader Immortal, which was supposed to be a Quest exclusive, but it seemed like it was only like a 2-week exclusive. Then it came out for Rift S, and Rift. So they just didn't have exclusives, and most of the games that came out for it, like I already had them, or I had already played them years ago. So I just felt like, all right, I'm just going to sell this. So I sold it for $300 to a friend. So this thing got announced, and you might wonder, well, what's different? Other than, I mean, the price is $299. That's $100 cheaper than the $399 Quests. So let's go through this. All right, here's just marketing bullshit. A blazing fast processor, next generation graphics. So, all right. The processor is a Snapdragon XR2. Now let me show you here. So this is a comparison here of the Qualcomm 835, which is what's in Quest, and here's the XR2, the Qualcomm XR2. So CPU and GPU performance, I guess, combined here. They say it's 2 times better. Video, it's 4 times better, pixel throughput. Native resolution per eye, 6 times better. Then they say AI performance, 11 times better. I don't know what they mean by that. That's like probably, I think this has like tensor cores, and maybe that's what they mean by that. But anyway, it's a much better processor. And pretty much nobody understands how they're selling this thing at $299 with that processor. Because it's, one of the best mobile processors you can have now. But pretty much the consensus is that Oculus is probably selling these for cheaper than they're making them. And they're just going to count on software sales or whatever tracking data they're getting from you and selling. Who knows? Whatever. So let's keep going here. So here's some games. I mean, they were really weak on games. So there's the Climb 2. I don't know if this is going to be a Quest 2 exclusive or if it's also going to be on Rift S or what. Like their website for now still says Rift S and Quest 2. They got rid of Quest completely. Now, what's going to happen, though, is next year in the spring, Rift S is going away. They're only going to have Quest. They're going to do only this. So it looks like they're probably eventually just going to completely do away with PC gaming. Probably is my guess. And they're just going to do only all-in-one Quest. Probably they're going to get rid of what I'll talk about later, the Quest Link. I think, but who knows? All right. So let's go down. Population 1. This is going to be on every headset as far as I know. Jurassic World Aftermath. This looks interesting to me. It's I love Jurassic Park. I don't like that it's a cell shaded game. I would have liked, you know, more realistic looking, but I mean, it's a mobile headset, so I guess that's what they had to do. I don't, but see, all these games, they don't really let you know. Is this also coming to PC? Is it also going to be on Rift S? We don't know. There was a Star Wars Tales from the Galaxy's Edge. I think that's the only game that may have been confirmed as a Quest 2 exclusive, but it could end up being just like Vader Immortal, where it's just like a 2-week exclusive. Who knows? There were some other games. Oh, like Myst. Myst is coming to Quest 2, but it'll probably come to everything. I mean, who knows? You know? All right, take a closer look. So here's some... Okay, there's a fan right there. This thing has an active fan, just like the original Quest did. All right, so here's the controllers. These controllers are improved. So they're designed more like the Rift CV1 controllers. So there's a bigger faceplate, basically, more space for your thumb and stuff. Supposedly, okay, so the original Quest and the Rift S controllers have an issue where like the battery covers can come loose, and also where sometimes the battery inside can move around and you can momentarily lose tracking. Supposedly all that's been fixed. And these have batteries that last 4 times longer than the Quest and Rift S controllers, at least from marketing. That's what they say. So they've improved on that. This is just some Guardian. You know, you can draw your Guardian boundary on the floor. It's just like originally. All right, so the new resolution is 1832 by 1920 pixels per eye. That's a pretty good improvement. And it's an RGB stripe LCD. So let me show you a comparison here. This is vrcompare.com, vr-compare.com. You can compare any headsets you want. So here we go. So there's Quest 2, Quest, Rift S, and Index. So I have you know, these 2 headsets here, so that's why I had added them in the comparison here. All right. So as you can see, Quest 2 is an RGB stripe. Oculus Quest was a pentile OLED, and then Rift S and Index are both RGB stripes also. So if you saw my other video where I compared Rift S and Index and Quest, I talked about how RGB stripe looks way better and has way less SDE than pentile, and here's an example. So right here, this is Quest. This is a pentile pixel layout. And this is actually higher resolution than this image on the left. This image on the left is a Rift S, which is a lower resolution headset, but it's RGB stripe, which has 3 subpixels per pixel, whereas this has 2 subpixels per pixel. So that's why this looks worse. It has 2 subpixels per pixel, so you're going to see more screen door. So, you know, pretty much every headset now is switching to RGB stripe like this because it just looks way better. The only drawback is these OLED pentile displays can do much better blacks and they have higher contrast. But I still think this is more important to have less screen door effect. So let's go back to here. Yeah, here's the resolution, 1832 by 1920 versus Quest's 1440 by 1600. So this 1832 by 1920 is a per eye resolution. Here on Quest you see 1440 by 1600 per eye. Then the Rift S is 1280 by 1440 per eye, and Valve Index is 1440 by 1600, which is the same as Quest. But Quest is pentile and Index is RGB stripe. So this is superior right here. All right, for me, the reason I bought this Quest 2 really is because it's going to be, if I like it enough, it's going to be a replacement for this Rift S here. Because you can see the resolution difference per eye. It's a pretty sizable difference here. And they're both RGB stripe. But I still think it'll be, you know, because I can still see screen door effect on the screen, but from what I've heard, you pretty much don't notice it on this screen. All right, but here's another difference, 90 Hertz. Well, there's a catch with that. This screen can do 90 Hertz. John Carmack even said it can do 120 Hertz. But for now, let's just say 90 Hertz. Right now, they don't have it doing 90 Hertz. But they said they're going to update it to where it's doing 90 Hertz. Right now, it's just 72 like the original Quest. And the Rift S is 80 Hertz, and Valve Index can go up to 144. But I pretty much always use 90 Hertz on Index because I don't think it makes that much difference to go up to 120 or 144, personally. So, what other things can I point out here while we're here? This has an inferior IPD adjustment. Let me see if I can show you in pictures here. So these right here, these lenses, you actually physically move these. You can move them out, and it's like the lowest is 58. Then it's something like 63 or something like that, and the next is 68 millimeters. Whereas this one had a slider that you could adjust on the bottom side of the headset. And Rift S has no hardware adjustment, only software adjustment. And you know, Valve Index, it says software here, but it actually is, it's a hardware adjustment, so they're wrong here. Okay, so there are only 3 hardware adjustment levels for IPD you can do. I'm not sure if they're going to also add software to that, but that's a concern, that it might not match your IPD very well. They say they're going to have better headset casting. Who knows if that's true? Oh, the sound. Yeah, the sound is just these holes in the side here. There's no headphones. You could add your own. You know, if this thing ends up being better than my Rift S, I'll take the Mantis Bionic headphones I have on my Rift S and just put them on here. Powered by Facebook. That's a con. You got to use your Facebook account. All right, so they have this cable. It's a USB 3.1 or 3.2 cable, I think, that you can connect to your PC, so you can do PC VR. Now the question is this going to be as good as Rift S? Is there going to be compression? Am I going to see little artifacts and shit? I don't know. Who knows? I don't know yet. So here's what you get with it. You get batteries and controllers and face gasket thing. Charging cable, and you get this stupid shitty soft fabric strap. I think the whole thing is fabric. So that's all fabric right there. And from what I've heard, it's shit. So they're selling these things like Quest 2 Elite straps. And then there's the Quest 2 Elite strap with battery pack and carrying case. Let's go there. So I ordered this with this battery pack and carrying case. I don't really care about the case much, but I want this battery pack back here to add weight as a counterweight to this front. This front, you know, is going to be heavy. It's probably going to hurt my forehead if I don't have this thing. I'm hoping this will counterweight it enough that it'll be comfortable for me. If we see here, you can get some better images here. But if you go down here, the weight is 321 grams of this on this head strap. So Quest 2 itself is something like 507 grams. And that's actually here. Oh, where is it? There, 503. 503 grams. And the original Quest is 571 grams. Then the Rift S is 500. And see, the Index is 809. So when you add that battery strap that I ordered with that, you're going to have, you know, somewhere in the ballpark, a little bit more of the Valve Index weight. And I'm hoping with that, it'll be as comfortable as the Valve Index. And then I would keep using Valve Index for most games, but for Oculus exclusives, I would use the Quest 2. Because I don't want to mess with Revive. I've had too many issues with the Revive and like performance issues, especially in games like The Climb. That game was unplayable for me with Revive. It was just so much bad reprojection. So that's why I still have an Oculus headset. So what I did was I got the 64 gigabyte Quest because I don't think I'm going to be installing a lot of Quest exclusives on it. Because, I mean, there's not going to be that many games, I think, that are only for Quest. They're probably going to also be PC, but as I said, eventually that'll probably change. Eventually, they will probably end up just being mobile VR. because they probably don't want to let Steam get in on the action, or even have to mess with Windows at all. So what other accessories? I got some more accessories. Let's go to the accessories part. So I got the VR cover because it comes with just foam. So that's the carrying case that comes with the... See, that's the Elite strap without the battery. It's for 49 bucks. I got the battery because it's heavier. This one is only like 100 something grams. This one's 300 something grams. So I got the VR cover facial interface foam replacement because it just comes with standard shitty foam, and I like to have pleather. So I always get VR covers. And I got the Oculus Link cable. So once I get this thing, we're going to see how this works. If this is good enough to replace the Rift S. I'm going to keep my Rift S. A lot of people are like, oh, now that this thing's out, the Rift S is worthless. And I don't agree yet. I won't know until I can try this and compare it to the Rift S. What else? So the screen, the XR2. Well, this thing, I talked about my issue with Quest was the fixed foveated rendering. There was a video that John Carmack did where he talked about that was a mistake, the fixed foveated rendering with Quest, and that's part of the reason why I sold it. Now they're doing dynamic fixed foveated rendering. I know dynamic fixed sounds kind of like an oxymoron, but what it means is, so there's fixed foveated rendering means around the edges of the image, they will, make it a little bit blurrier. The pixels won't be as pronounced, but it'll be dynamic, meaning only when it's absolutely needed, only when the processor or the GPU is being totally stressed and they need to, maybe cool down because it's a mobile processor, then they'll do it. So from what I've heard, people that have tested the Quest 2 so far, they've said that they haven't even seen any fixed foveated rendering. So that's exciting for me. So what else? This thing is an XR2 chip, which should be compatible with Wi-Fi 6. I have a Wi-Fi 6 router. I'm hoping that they'll release some sort of built-in Oculus wireless VR. That's part of the reason I bought this, thinking that it seems like that's gotta come. I mean, like there are programs like Virtual Desktop that are already doing wireless VR on the Quest. So why can't they do it on the Quest 2? So I'm hoping that'll be an option, and then that wireless strap will give me more time with that. Will there be better hand tracking? I'm thinking probably, because of the XR2, like I showed here. I mean, this is probably going to be capable of doing way better hand tracking. You would think better tracking in general. I don't know, but since they're have 4 times more battery life in the controllers, there have been questions about, are they not blinking the IR lights as often? Is that why they have the better battery life? I don't know. Who knows? So, will the PC Link be better? Like, this is, same reason. You have an XR2. I don't know if that matters with the PC Link. But, I don't know. So let's talk about cons. I'm worried about, even though I'm getting that battery strap, I'm worried about the comfort. If I don't like the comfort, I'm done with it. I'm going to sell it. I'll probably sell it for a profit. There's that soft strap. So if you're going to buy this thing and you're going to stick with that soft strap, I think you might as well not even get it. I mean, unless you have an iron forehead, I don't know how you would be able to tolerate that. This strap, I think, is just going to suck. And this thing right here is just going to be a brick on your forehead. The sound. The sound is a con. There's no speakers. I mean, they have them built into the headband. And everyone said it sounds no better than Quest. Quest was okay. Like Rift S's built-in audio is terrible. And this is better than that. But anyway. So yeah, like, I'm worried, is the Link not going to be as good as the Rift S? I'm worried, is this IPD thing going to be an issue? Is it going to feel like it's a little bit off? My IPD is on the lower end. It's like, usually I have it around 60. and I think they have 58, like 63, and then 68, or maybe 64 and 68 are the manual settings. So like I'm gonna be in between there a little bit. Is there gonna be a software fix for that? I don't know. Then there's the 72 Hertz issue. It's gonna ship at 72 Hertz, just like Quest. But I trust that they're gonna fix that with an update. Supposedly, if you put it into an experimental mode, you can do the main menus at 90 Hertz, but the games won't be at 90 Hertz. And if the games are run at 90 Hertz, what then happens to the performance? Are they going to then have to, is the dynamic fixed foveated rendering going to get ramped up? And am I going to see that and get annoyed again? I don't know. Anyway, so as I said, I did the pre-order at $299. I bought that battery strap that comes with the case. I got the VR cover and I got the Oculus Link cable. With tax, that total was $568.16. So that's a far cry from this $299. So what they're doing is they're nickel and diming you. Like if you know what you're doing and you know what you're gonna need, you know you're gonna have to pay a lot more than $299. Most people are probably buying, or most hardcore people are probably buying the 256 gig. You can buy a 256 gig one for $399. But I just figured I don't think I'm gonna fill this thing up much, and if I do, I'll just delete the shit that I don't need, you know. So, I think I've covered everything I wanted to talk about. This thing's gonna come October 13th. Hopefully all the accessories that I got will come with it then too. And I will try it out and I'll probably do some videos about it. So I'm cautiously optimistic. Here's some more games. For some reason they're showing Beat Saber. I mean, that's such an old game now, but all right. Echo VR. They're showing all these, okay, Phantom Covert Ops. That's, all these games here are like pretty old. I don't know why they're not showing more new stuff. Maybe people that just don't know any better. They're like, oh, look, Five Nights at Freddy's. Oh, I like Darth Vader. I don't know. But that stuff's old. These are new right here. I mean, Population 1, we've been hearing about this game for, seems like years now. But maybe this is what held it up, waiting for the Quest 2. I don't know. I like the climb. I like dinosaurs. So these two I will definitely get. Whether they're on, you know, Rift S or Quest 2 or whatever. Is there anything else to talk about? I don't think so. I don't personally care much about this whole Facebook, you know, account thing. They're saying like Quest 2 requires your Facebook account to log in. But if you're already have an Oculus account, like I think it's going to be a while before they actually require you to do that. Like maybe 2022 or 2023. I can't remember which year. Even then, I don't know. Whatever. You know, I'll do whatever I have to do VR. It's not a big deal. And you can, from what I've read, you don't have to have your real name visible when you're in games. As long as they don't put on my Facebook account, like, Justin is in VR Paradise right now. He's in a strip club. You know, whatever. You know, of course, that's a Steam game, so I would probably just be playing that on Index. But I don't want them to be like, look at Justin, what Justin just got eaten by a raptor. Come check out what Justin's up to. That would piss me off. So anyway, that's it. That's the Quest 2. I didn't think I was going to buy it, but I ended up buying it because they had that battery strap. I actually swore I will not buy this thing because the battery's in the front here, adding unnecessary weight in the front. But once I saw that battery strap, I was like, I guess I will. So I was weak, and maybe I was a little bit, you know, caught up in the hype, and it's only $299. That's the psychology of it. Oh, it's only $299, and then you add on all this other shit, but you're still just like, oh, it's only $299, but it ended up being $568.16. All right, so that's it. Thanks for watching.